Hey, welcome back to Sword and Crossbow. How's it going? How you doing? Um,
I'm Nutney Cheens.
I'm not need cheese. Crash Kaiju you can't even spoonerize. It's just the same thing.
Oh, dang, yeah.
Unless it's Cash Kaiju.
There we go.
When you get money but your life is still bad, you're a Cash Kaiju.
Yeah, dude, for real.
Are
It's
there
lonely
any...
at the top, baby.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Dude, are there any kaiju bad actually, technically every kaiju film is pretty bad. They're like kind of B movie.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking about like the newer ones, but like are there any like straight up just like really bad B movie kaiju films? That's what I'm wondering.
I think some examples of that would I guess technically Cloverfield constitutes a bad kaiju movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't really like it, huh?
It's a good found footage movie, but I wouldn't say that it particularly works well within like the confines of like the kaiju genre.
Oh, man.
At least in the way that it's generally presented, because like the thing that makes the kaiju genre so impressive, I think, for a lot of people is the connotation that it has to like the kind of destruction that you see on the scope of like a natural disaster. Because that's what a lot of kaiju movies are kinds of metaphors for, or like natural disasters, or in the case of Godzilla, like the power of like the atomic bomb.
Yeah.
They're kind of like these like I said, just metaphors, and that's what makes them work particularly well. I guess an example of like something that would be like even more so B than your like Godzilla movies would be like Ultraman.
Oh yeah, like
Maybe.
an old show.
Yeah,
kaiju
man.
show.
Like maybe any of your standard like Sentai shows. Like just the concept of like a Sentai show is kind of nuts in general. These like masked warriors that all like ride robot things that super combine into like a bigger robot that fights bigger monsters. Like that's so.
Oh man, it must have been amazing to be like a kid when Ultraman was out,
Oh man, you just like to know that
or when Ultraman was popular, rather.
stuff like that like didn't exist, and you just had this cool like window into like a crazy world with giants.
Oh.
It's cool. I feel like a lot of modern stuff is kind of getting to that same point, though, too. I mean, like, Evangelion is still pretty popular, and Attack on Titan has become incredibly popular,
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Attack on Titan is kind of a mech anime.
It is.
When you think about
It's
it.
just like a fleshy mech anime.
Yeah, it's one of the best animes, in my opinion.
I would have to agree, based on everything that I've, like, seen / read up to this point. I think that it's got one of the most compelling stories of any kind of modern manga / anime. On top of that too, I mean, just the art style is beautiful. I love that it kind of has this weird there's something about the artwork that feels closer to like
A lot of people hate it.
European artwork than
Yeah.
like anime. There's something about the way that guy draws eyes that is really
Isayama. Yeah, his
Yeah.
eyes are definitely like really interesting. Yeah, I like it. I won't get like too into it just in case there's people that haven't ever seen it, but like if you want to get into a good anime and you like something that's complex but also like simple,
and if you like something that's just downright horrific.
yeah, right. I think the thing that Attack on Titan does really well is that it's just like it's just a big dumb anime with a lot of politics.
Well, I think there's a lot more going on than just the politics, though. I mean, like, the character relationships are really, really interesting and complex. They did a really good job at like, fleshing out the cast. You've got, like, a really good core foundation of characters who all have really interesting looks at life and their, like, ideologies, the way that those differ from each other. It's really cool to see the different factions at play too, because there's some stuff that happens later on that just gets nuts.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, like any show, I feel like it always gets like so crazy at the end because the writers are just trying to be like, okay, what are we gonna do to like really make it like the insano stuff,
Yeah, and then how can we tie all of these themes together that like we've been building up throughout like the course of the show or book or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I saw someone was talking about Walking Dead, and they said, have they gotten to the aliens yet? Have you heard about that?
So I have actually. Do you know what the whole thing behind that is?
No, but hey, if anybody's listening to this right now, we're about to talk about Walking Dead spoilers. Also, just listen because Walking Dead's not a show that's even worth
the
watching.
Funniest thing is that the that's not even a spoiler. That's not even a thing yet.
In the show. It's not a thing in the show.
It's not a thing at all yet.
Well, yet.
Like, so Robert Kirkman, when he went to present his idea to Image Comics, they weren't really like sold on it. They're like, oh, like this is like another zombie thing. But like Robert Kirkman's pitch was, yeah, but at the end these aliens come down and it turns out they're the ones who made the virus.
That's cool.
And that's how he sold.
That concept.
That's how he sold the pitch to Image Comics. But the aliens still have yet to show up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like zombies are overdone.
Yeah. Well, the
So
funniest
overdone.
thing is that like that premise for The Walking Dead though is almost exactly a ripoff of Plan 9 from Outer Space. You know what Plan 9 from Outer Space is, right?
No.
That's like one of the most notorious like B movies to ever exist. And the concept was that the space aliens decided in order to weed out the human population, they would devise like a zombie virus. And so that's what Plan 9 from Outer Space is the plan to devise a zombie virus to wipe out the human race so that way the aliens could come in after we were all wiped out and then take the planet over.
I see. That's kind of cool.
That's a very roundabout, very
it's like a weird biological warfare thing.
Yeah. That would just take incredibly long. If that's how if that's your plan to take over a planet, you could definitely come up with a faster one.
Yeah. Well, it's like zombies were initially just the concept of like, imagine if the dead weren't no more.
Well, I mean, it even the concept precedes that. Before that, white zombie was a thing, and it was the idea that they were just like these kind of like lobotomized slaves. They weren't even like undead.
What the heck?
George A. Romero is the one that kind of popularized the undead angle. Yeah, because he made the concept that I think it was that gamma radiation was like seeping into these grave sites from a downed satellite. And so the gamma radiation was bringing the corpses back to life somehow. And then they kind of extrapolated on, like the idea that zombies like to eat brains didn't come in until like Return of the Living Dead, which was the sequel to Night of the Living Dead. I don't remember if Dawn of the Dead came before or after Return, but it was one of those scenarios. I think Return came afterwards because that one's really over the top, and that's where you get like the Tar Man zombie from, and Trash, which is hilarious.
Oh, sorry, this boss makes me nervous.
No, you're all good, man. I gotta take a breath after having such a long-winded monologue about B zombie movies.
No, I love it. It's funny because like as far as like B movies go, when I first saw a B movie, I did not get it.
Yeah, me either, man. I remember.
I was like, wait, it's bad on purpose?
Yeah, exactly. Or like, it's just like the reason why it's quote unquote bad is just because it's got these like low budget trappings. Where,
and it's like goofy and
the exploitation era of film too, where it was like, oh, let's take all these kids and like film them in like these cheap to shoot jungles and stuff and put them in potentially life-threatening situations.
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust is like a great example of that.
Cannibal Holocaust, is that the one with the turtle scene?
Yeah, that's the one with the turtle scene.
Is that real?
Yeah. So that's the thing, man. When they made Cannibal Holocaust, the film director, he made all these people like change their names and stuff and make it look.
What?
Yeah, he convinced everybody that this actual film crew like went out and like guerrilla filmed themselves like doing just this awful stuff to this native population and vice versa.
That's like the OG like terrible film that you always tell people about.
One of the OG video nasties.
Remember Human Centipede? Like, no. Have you seen Cannibal Holocaust?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that every animal death in Cannibal Holocaust is real, but there are also some pretty like questionable maybe human deaths. Yeah. Like, for example, they come across like one of the biggest images from that movie is a poster of a woman who's like impaled on this log all the way through, and that might actually be a real body.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny how like, well, maybe not funny, but like I used to have a book as a kid that was like about medieval life because I was just so obsessed with the medieval era, like knights and castles and kings and kingdoms, and that European blood
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But like I was really interested in it, and then they had so many like really bad images of like they were all cartoonized, cartoonized, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But you know, okay, I thought she was gonna do it there. But it was like still just like very like, oh, this should not be in a kid's book, you know.
Yeah, like, oh, this is shocking to my young brain. Yeah, you know what?
But
you know what kind of stuff really messed me up too was I remember seeing Sleepy Hollow when I was a kid, and there was like an Iron Maiden in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And like his like mom or whatever gets put in the Iron Maiden.
Really?
Yeah, and like it's like a big. It's like a big point of trauma for him that gets like explored throughout the movie, and I remember seeing that as a kid, and it just like messed with me so hard.
Yeah, and Iron Maiden. I'm pretty sure they're not even real, right? Like that was they found out that like Iron Maidens were never actually a thing.
If that's true, then I would be incredibly relieved to hear that, because it seems like outlandish, like an outlandish punishment.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, you see things like the interrogation chair, and like that was real.
Was that?
So that was a chair where what they did was they put spikes on the bottom of it, and then they put spikes against it, where your the back of your legs would rest against, and then they put spikes on the armrests. And what would happen is you would be. It was the way that I understand it to be used was that they would use it to interrogate witches, and if you weren't giving satisfactory answers, you would have your limbs caned against the spikes.
Isn't that crazy how they would do that? It's like, are you a witch? No, I'm not a witch. Okay, well, we're going to torture you until you say that you are a witch.
And then once you confess that you're a witch, we're going to burn you at the stake.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. So it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and it sucks, too, because it's like, you know, you could fall into the victimhood of, like, literally anybody's accusation. Like, all it would take is an accusation, and all of a sudden, you know, you're getting...
Yeah.
Literally burned at the stake. Oh man, it's just crazy to think about like the Inquisition and like the medieval period and
this
just
person's
how
gonna burn me
brutal.
at the stake, dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die right now. Well, you know what? Hey, thanks for watching. Sword and Crossbow.
Yeah, this was the medieval torture video nasties episode.
yeah, that was the deep lore of the internet evil era. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try one more time.
All right.
I'm gonna try one more. Actually, why am I not doing like a? I should have a prayer equipped.
Your build? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh goodness.
I don't know if there's anything that I want to do. Okay, let's just go. Ready? All right. This is the moment.
Good start. You didn't die right there, so.
Yeah. I've actually fallen off of this ledge right before the elevator came. It was like a weird glitch.
No.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. All right. No. This is it. This is the one.
I love the glowy eyes on these statues after you get their.
What do you think these people's names are?
Lisbeth, Jorge,
and
Juan.
Juan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's supposed to take place in like Spain.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to take place in Spain, or is it just made by Spanish
Well, I think
people?
it's just made by Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Spanish people.
All right, here we go.
They took
the one.
They took these ideas of like
my gosh.
the Spanish Inquisition and it turned it into a cool game.
Yeah.
This Soulsvania like.
Yeah, it is very Soulsvania. It's great. I love it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the aesthetic of this game is something that really, really stands out amidst a lot of the other stuff that's on the market right now.
Yeah. I think what's really cool about this boss in particular is compared to Bloodborne bosses where it's like just a bunch of giant creatures, this kind of feels more like a Sekiro boss where you're actually doing battle with someone that is of your ilk.
Yeah. You're finding someone who's like on your level. This is someone who's trained in seemingly similar arts to you.
Yeah, that's what makes this boss really cool, and also one of the hardest bosses.
Well, in a way too. I mean, it makes it feel like a dance. It's kind of interesting.
That's what I love about Sekiro, is that like it feels like it's like an art style. You know what I mean?
No, you're absolutely right. It is like that.
Oh, here we go. Who? Oh, Did I just get faked out? What just happened?
Yeah, that was weird. You got, like, double faked out there.
What? Are they... Oh! Okay, that was really weird there.
Okay.
The one that I said would be the one is the one where they just go off screen and mess me up. Okay.
You got this. Just don't die.
Ooh. Oh. Dude, I am 1 HP and a dream in it right now.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you gotta love that hitbox. What I really love is that that sucked